Hello officers and welcome back! Did you know that using this SMG in greased palms could actually be a better choice than most of the rifles? It sounds crazy, but scrolling through the SMG category without knowing what each one can really do in practice is even crazier. So, as always, I have done all the research, and after putting each SMG through every possible scenario, I'm here to tell you everything you need to know about this class in Ready or Not. Whether you are new or a veteran, you will learn things you have never heard before, and I will explain everything in clear, simple way, even if you don't know any of the in-game terms. To keep things clear, I have grouped all SMGs by caliber into 4 categories: the 9mm, the 10mm, the 45 ACP rounds, and the pinned in W style. If you don't understand any of that yet, don't worry, I will explain as we go through. In each category, we will start with the shortest weapon and work our way up to the longest, because size really matters, especially for this class. While SMGs may seem similar at first, most have unique traits that make them shine in certain scenarios, while others fail short and struggle to justify their use. I get very picky with SMGs, because they really have to defend their place against rifles. That's why I will sometimes compare them directly. If you haven't watched the All Rifles review yet, I strongly recommend you do, as some of the points I make here will make a lot more sense if you have seen that. Before we start going through each weapon, we need to clarify what SMGs are actually capable of in Ready or Not, and why we might choose one over a rifle. There are 2 main reasons. First, the lethal approach. SMGs generally use smaller rounds, which makes them less lethal than rifles or shotguns. In some ways, they are closer to sidearms in terms of raw damage. This also means less overpenetration, making them safer in civilian-heavy environments. Second, compactness. Compared to rifles, SMGs are much smaller, which gives you better movement and handling in tight spaces. SMGs bring a mix of traits you won't find in any other class. In general, they pack high fire rates and less recoil than rifles. Also, they offer high mobility and burst modes, while few can get very close to rifle damage. The 9mm is the most common and balanced SMG caliber in the game, almost like the 5.56 class among rifles. It's the smallest round of the SMG calibers, which usually means better recoil control. And most weapons in this class share the classic SMG traits. The MP9 is one of the smallest SMGs in the game, and even smaller than any rifle. It comes with a standard 30 rounds magazine and handles great in close quarters combat. It has a low stopping power and low penetration, but the fire rate is absolutely wild, sitting close to the top of this class and even faster than any rifle. On paper, the recoil is good, and in-game it mainly kicks upward with a slight side drift, still very controllable. Drag when turning fast is one of the worst in this class, but honestly you don't need to worry too much about that unless you are constantly snapping 180s. It's got a simple full auto and semi-auto modes, nothing fancy. Personally, I'm not too excited about it, since other SMGs have unique features that easily outperform this one. For this reason, I will give it 2 stars. It is fast and fun, but nowhere near to compete with the best SMGs. The Raider X P320 is almost the same size as the MP9, but runs a smaller 21 rounds magazine. It has low stopping power and low penetration. It really feels and behaves a lot more like a pistol than a traditional SMG. The fire rate is one of the 2 slowest in this class, and matches the slowest rifles in the game, But that's not where it shines. Its standout feature is that it's the only one with a semi-auto mode. That might sound like a drawback, but this gun is all about accurate shots, and in reality it belongs to the pistol class. Recoil is minimal, with only a side hop in practice, making it very easy to keep on target. The 21 round capacity can feel limiting, especially since it's not running the most powerful rounds. But it still feels solid and reliable if precision is your style. This one is great for challenges or when you just want something different. I'm giving it 2 stars, not a top performer, but the fun factor is definitely there. The MP5A2 is the classic 9mm SMG. You know what you are getting. This is the first MP5 variation and some of its characteristics apply to all the other MP5s. This one has a low stopping power and low penetration, and it is noticeably bigger than the previous SMGs. It is also bigger than the DM4 pinned in W rifle, one of the smallest rifles in game, and we definitely need to consider this. It has a 30 round magazine, but this is where the fun begins. The MP5A2 has a unique 3 round burst shot, which makes it the only gun in this class with a 3 round in burst mode. You can still go semi and full auto if you want, but the burst mode is what makes it stand out. Even though it is more fun and effective compared to single fire mode, it burns a lot of ammo, so be careful with that. The recoil is good, with a slight move up and to the side, common to all variations. The main issue I have noticed is that when you fire, the aim jumps up and doesn't settle back on target. This behavior is common across MP5s, and it is something you either love or hate. When firing in burst, it seems to have 2 bullets on point and one just near the center. It's not really reliable where the 3rd bullet lands, but still, considering you fire 3 rounds, it's effective. Plus, the recoil in that case is similar to single mode, just a tiny bit more aggressive. I will give it 3 stars because of this unique characteristic. Still, not the best, but no other like this. The MP5A3 is very similar to the A2 we just mentioned. It has low stopping power but medium penetration, which is actually a strength over the A2. On paper, it is a tiny bit longer than the A2, but not enough to notice in game, and also shares the same 30 round magazine. It's worth to mention that it is just slightly shorter when suppressed. This can be considered the standard in the MP5 family. It has no burst mode and behaves the same as the A2 and the other MP5s. Same recoil and handling in general as the previous one. Since it doesn't shine in any specific scenario, I will give it 3 stars, which can be considered a solid baseline for SMGs. The UMP9 is slightly bigger than the previous one, but still not that noticeable in-game. This gun can be directly compared to all the MP5s in the 9mm class, and it carries a 30 round magazine. It has low stopping power but medium penetration, which is definitely a benefit. This is considered a good option for this class. It has more vertical recoil than the MP5s but less horizontal, so it really comes down to what recoil you are more comfortable with when choosing this or any of the MP5 family. Worth mentioning, this gun tends to return back on target one shot, which feels way more friendly in practice, and this makes it more controllable, at least for me. It's among the slowest in this class in fire rate, but it has a very sweet 2-shot burst mode, which makes the fire rate a bit irrelevant. The recoil when in burst is a bit more aggressive, but not as much as the MP5A2. I like that flexibility of single or two-shot burst. This is really a sweet spot in general for burst mode. In almost all cases, both shots seem to land very close to each other. Overall, this is a 4-star rating gun, as it really performs well and also has this unique feature. The MPX is slightly longer than the previous SMGs, yet again not that noticeable in-game, but we start to get closer to the smallest of the 5.56 rifles, which makes things a bit more complicated. Stopping power is on the low side, but the penetration is medium, giving it an edge. This SMG also comes with a 30-round magazine. It has a solid fire rate, sitting just above the middle of all the SMGs. The recoil is good on paper, and in reality too. It also tends to return back on target when fired, which is very nice to have. For some reason, I get the feeling of rifle with this SMG. In a good way, it feels reliable. There is nothing too special about this gun. It's a solid pick, for sure, but as we move on, size will start to impact the ratings more. I will give it 3-star rating. It's a solid pick, but yeah, again, doesn't excel in a specific scenario. The SPC-9 is longer than the MPX, and even longer than quite a few rifles in-game, which makes it a bit trickier to handle. It comes with a standard 30-round magazine. It has low stopping power, so it won't hit very hard, but the medium penetration is a solid advantage, especially combined with the insane fire rate. And when I say insane, I mean it melts enemies. We are talking about roughly double the fire rate of the MPX. This puts it at the very top among SMGs, and nearly 3 times faster than some rifles in-game. Recoil is surprisingly manageable on paper for this fire rate, and in reality it drifts a bit to the sides, but still it's very controllable. Ammo burns fast, so you have to be mindful. If you hold the trigger and miss most of your shots, the extreme fire rate can quickly turn into a disadvantage. This weapon really rewards quick plays and accurate shots. Rated at 4 stars, this one is perfect for aggressive gameplay, and honestly the fire rate is the main reason why. The MP5 SD6 is the longest 9mm in this group, and it comes with the standard 30-round magazine. It has low stopping power but medium penetration, so it has the same power as the A3 variation, giving it a useful edge over the other MP5s. What really makes this gun shine is the built-in suppressor. This is exciting because it doesn't add extra bulk like other SMGs when you equip them with a suppressor. In fact, this ends up among the shortest in this comparison. This is similar situation like the LVAR from the 300 Blackout rifles. The fire rate is pretty standard, same as all the other MP5s, and it handles in the same familiar way. Recoil is good, but a bit awkward to manage at times, as we mentioned. Even though I'm not a huge fan of MP5s in general, this is a solid 4-star choice. The stealthy ability and medium penetration makes this one stand out among the MP5 family. 45 ACP is a bigger round than the 9mm, giving you noticeably heavier hitting compared to the 9mm. It's ideal for when you need that extra punch and usually trades some fire rate for excellent stopping power, while still keeping SMG level handling. The UMP45 looks a lot like the UMP9 and shares the same length, but that's where the similarities end. It comes with a 25-round magazine and hits noticeably harder thanks to its 45 ACP rounds. The fire rate is a bit slower than the UMP9, but considering the bigger caliber, it's not nearly as bad as it sounds. Recoil behaves like the UMP9, but is more aggressive, which actually feels balanced because the gun packs more punch. Stopping power and penetration are both at medium, so it delivers more impact than the 9mm class, which is a nice advantage. This keeps the same 2-round burst, which feels very sweet, and the choice between this and the UMP9 comes down to personal preference. One hits harder but it's tougher to control, the other it's easier to handle but doesn't hit as hard. Overall, I will give it 4 stars, same as the 9mm version, since both are solid but unique in their own ways. 10mm rounds sit above both 9mm and 45 ACP in terms of raw power, offering higher velocity and greater penetration, while 45 ACP has larger bullet diameter. 10mm delivers more energy and range. In Ready or Not though, it currently feels very similar to the 45 ACP in damage output. The main difference is that the 10mm kicks harder and it's a bit tougher to handle overall. The MP5 10mm is the only 10mm SMG in-game and is roughly the same size as the MP5 A2, putting it in the middle range compared to other rifles. It comes with a standard 30-round magazine, while stopping power and penetration are both at medium, which is decent. While the 10mm rounds should theoretically perform better than the 45 ACP, in practice it feels about the same. Only now it's bouncier and has more recoil, which makes it a bit harder to control. The fire rate matches the 9mm MP5s, and it has 2-round burst mode. Even though it doesn't behave quite like the UMP family, it has that MP5 style recoil and handling. I will rate it 3 stars because as for now, I really feel the UMP45 outperforms this gun. Personal defense weapons, pinned in W, are the compact firearms designed to bridge the gap between SMGs and rifles, giving rifle-like performance in a smaller package. In Ready or Not, pinned in Ws are grouped with SMGs, but stand out for their unique ammo types, extremely high fire rates, and armor penetration closer to rifles. They are often the most specialized option in the SMG class, great in close quarters while still punching hard. All guns in this class can handle level 2 and even level 3 armored enemies. The FN P90 is one of the 2 pinned in Ws in the game, and by far the smallest weapon, even when suppressed, making it perfect for stealthy approaches. It comes with a massive 50-round magazine, the largest among any weapon in game, giving you incredible survivability and plenty of ammo for sustained fights. The fire rate is insane, matching the MP9 and ranking among the fastest weapons in-game. Stopping power sits at the medium level, but penetration is high, making it one of the only 2 SMGs with that advantage. It has more vertical recoil than any other in this class, and drifts slightly to the sides, but it still handles like a proper SMG. Considering all its benefits, the recoil is very manageable. Drag when turning fast is the worst among SMGs, though it's not a stat that matters much, as I mentioned many times. Overall, the P90 is my favorite SMG, aggressive, fast and extremely capable. Easily 5 out of 5 stars, and a top tier choice for any playstyle that values speed and stealth. The MP7 is one of the favorites among players in the SMG class. Slightly longer than the P90, but still very compact. It is similar in length to the 300 Blackout rifles. though when suppressed it becomes slightly bigger, which is worth considering. It comes with a 40-round magazine, the second largest among SMGs, providing more ammo than you will ever need. Stopping power is medium, while penetration is high, same as the P90. The MP7 fires just as fast as the P90, with upward recoil that is very easy to control. Low drag keeps it responsive, and its predictable recoil makes it one of the best handling SMGs in the game. While I personally prefer the P90 because it overperforms every rifle in-game compared to its size, which is one of the most crucial factors when choosing an SMG, the MP7 is still a solid 5 out of 5 stars. The only downside is the longer length, especially when suppressed. That covers all the SMGs in the game. Don't forget about the giveaway. I will be giving away 2 DLC packages as soon as we hit 1000 subscribers. If you have been watching our videos, it will be a shame to miss out. Stay sharp, officers, and I will see you in the next callout.